5 and 11? Two characters from different shows that may have more in common than just their numbers for names. When you take a closer look at characters across TV and movies, you find that some of them are more alike than not. From heroes to villains, which characters are one in the same? Wanda Maximoff and Jean Grey are two of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. They're both connected to dark forces that are prophesized to bring destruction and danger to the Earth, the Scarlet Witch and Phoenix Force respectively, and their incredible powers get intensified through emotions, like from the loss of a loved one.
You didn't see that coming.
Plus, there's no denying the similarities between their true forms.
It's your destiny to destroy the world.
The trailer for the upcoming live-action Cruella film got a lot of people talking. You may have noticed some similarities between Emma Stone's Cruella and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Both characters make bold statements with their fashion, with striking colors that contrast those around them. They have twisted, chaotic, evil energy that makes both of them a villainous force to be reckoned with. We can't wait to see more of these characters in their upcoming movies.
I'm Cruella.
A dragon and an ice queen may seem like an odd comparison at first, but once you take a closer look, there's no denying the likeness. I mean, just look at their appearances. Blue, white, and purple colors that make them look like magic twins. Not to mention their water-based powers that allow them to manipulate water and run on water pads. Also, Elsa is the fifth element in her movie, while Sisu is the fifth dragon in hers. Coincidence?
I'm not like the best dragon.
The Boys Who Lived, Harry and Luke are eerily similar characters. Chosen ones meant to bring balance to their world? Check. Wise old mentors that make a sacrifice for them? Got it. Magical and futuristic weapons unique to their kind? Absolutely. These characters also share strong connections to the big baddie, which makes them enemy number one. And the powerful connection they have to a magical force is not to be forgotten.
I'll never turn to the dark side.
When it comes to the burden of power and living a double life, no two superhero characters embody that more than Peter Parker and Clark Kent. The bad guys are always after their loved ones, and our heroes are constantly saving them, whether it's Lois Lane or MJ. And when they're not sporting a red and blue costume, they are nerdy, unassuming journalists. Peter as a photographer for the Daily Bugle, and Clark as a reporter for the Daily Planet. Living a double life isn't easy, and these two are constantly being reminded of Uncle Ben's famous words. With a unique set of powers, 5 and 11 share more similarities beyond their number names. 5 can jump through time, while 11 jumps through dimensions. Both are extremely powerful from a young age, and don't respond too kindly to authority. And their love for snacks is unparalleled. We can't help but think what it would be like if these characters ever met each other. They would surely have a lot to talk about.
Let's dance.
Pale and disfigured supervillain, anyone? These antagonists weren't always that way. A troubled childhood and the allure of immortality is what brought both of these characters to the dark side, and their direct connection to the protagonist has them relentlessly making life hell for our heroes. Both these villains have a hand in killing the old, wise mentor to our heroes, who were once a mentor to them. And once they turn evil, they command a devoted army of loyal followers, with their plan being to take over as ruthless dictators. You definitely wouldn't want to mess with these two.
Harry Potter is dead.
We all love these billionaire super geniuses that dress up and fight crime with their array of gadgets. Both these characters have no natural superpowers, instead relying on their wit, tech, and combat abilities. They have famous parents who are no longer around, and were both betrayed by their mentor. Evil groups are a big problem for these characters, as Batman has ties with the League of Shadows and Iron Man with the 10 Rings. Luckily, they each have a trusty assistant to help them out.
I don't deserve you, Alfred.
No, sir, you don't.
Captain America and Wonder Woman are the star-spangled heroes that represent the good in humanity. They both don costumes with red and blue color schemes, and of course, they both wield shields. They each fought in a world war and had a ragtag team of soldiers with them as backup. Even more, both these characters lost their loves during the war, and in each case, a sacrifice involving a plane was the cause. These are extremely smart and sharp-witted characters, who are the voice of reason for their superhero groups.
Every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die.
Raya and the Last Dragon is a welcome addition to the Disney family, proving that Mulan isn't the only one that can kick butt with the sword. Their fierceness and selflessness make these two of the strongest Disney characters. What they do for others, namely their fathers. Mulan steps up to take her father's place in the military, while Raya goes on a journey to bring her father back to life. The strong bonds they have with their fathers is what drives them forward, and they don't let any obstacles get in their way. Also, we have to mention that they both have a fun dragon as a sidekick.
Dragon, not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing.
A Disney princess can't ask for a better wingman than Lumiere or Sebastian. These two are the fun, lovable right-hand man to their princess, supporting them through and through. Finding love isn't easy, but these two make sure the princess meets her prince, whether through a lovely song or the perfect mood lighting. And of course, who can forget the incredibly catchy tunes Be Our Guest and Under the Sea. These two never fail to make the moment.
Enchanté, chérie.
Don't we all wish we had a Gandalf or Obi-Wan in our lives? A wise old mentor, donning a robe and wielding a sword, who's connected with a magical force that can help us along in our journey to restore balance to the world. Yeah, that would be awesome. Especially given that these two mentors were willing to sacrifice themselves to help the hero. These are definitely the best mentors one can ask for. Just don't betray them like their friends did.
You were my brother, Anakin!
The two speedsters of Marvel and DC respectively, Flash and Quicksilver will always be mentioned together when it comes to superheroes with super speed. They are both loners who don't have much outside of family, until they're recruited by a team. And they're incredibly witty, always injecting a well-needed dose of humor to whatever scene they're in. These speedsters just keep going and going.
I need friends.
Shrek and Carl Fredricksen? Surprisingly, yes. When you look at their personalities and stories, they're actually very similar. They're grumpy, lonely men who just want to be left alone, but people keep invading their land. They have a funny sidekick friend who is forced upon them and drags them on an adventure. And while they find this friend annoying at first, they come to enjoy their company by the end of the story, learning to love others. The only question we have is, what would it be like if these characters ever met each other?
This is my swamp!
The clown prince of crime and the split personality of Norman Osborn are two of the most menacing villains in comics. They are crazy, unstable, and just all around psychotic. You can never predict what they may do, as they always keep our heroes on their toes. They get their joy from torturing and taunting the protagonist, their family, and friends. Whether it's Mary Jane or Rachel Dawes, no one is safe from these two and their creepy smiling. With new characters being introduced to our screens every day, it's no surprise some of them share similarities. Now when we watch these shows and movies, we'll always think of their counterparts. Which characters do you think are alike?